The quiet moments of the morning, the ones before your phone lights up or the world starts demanding your attention, are more powerful than we realize. This is when your body is listening closely. Your cells are waking up. Your brain is setting the tone for the hours ahead. And somewhere deep inside, your future. How strong you'll be at 70, how sharp your memory will stay, how steady your legs will carry you, is already being written. Not with pills, not with products, but with food. And not just any food, real food, whole food, healing food. The kind your great-grandparents might have grown, cooked, or picked off a tree. The kind that speaks the same biological language as your body. That kind of food has the power to rebuild your bones, calm your immune system, balance your hormones, and even rewire parts of your brain. It's easy to forget how much control we actually have, but every bite is a conversation with your health. And today, we're going to explore the 5 foods that science keeps circling back to. Not fads, not extremes, but humble, powerful ingredients that keep coming up in the research, in the blue zones, and in the healthiest, happiest kitchens around the world. These aren't exotic or expensive. You've seen them before, but perhaps you've never really met them. We'll look at what they do inside your body. We'll travel through a bit of history, why some cultures seem to age slower than others, and how these foods became staples of longevity. You'll learn how to combine them, how to enjoy them, and how to let them become a part of your everyday rhythm. Not a chore, but a choice that feels good. Because the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better, with more laughter, more energy, more clarity, more strength in your step, and softness in your heart. This is the story of how food, real food, can carry you into the next decade of your life with joy. And it starts with something small, something golden, something as old as time. Let's begin with honey. Honey is one of the oldest natural foods we know. Long before we had ovens, blenders, or even written language, humans were reaching into beehives, not for sugar, not for flavor, but for energy, healing, and preservation. Archaeologists have found pots of honey buried in ancient Egyptian tombs, still perfectly edible after thousands of years. That alone tells you something. This golden nectar is not just food, it's chemistry, it's medicine, it's time slowed down in a jar. But what makes honey so special in a modern world flooded with sweeteners? The answer lies in its complexity. Raw, unfiltered honey contains over 180 different compounds, from enzymes to antioxidants, prebiotics to trace minerals. And when you eat a spoonful of the real stuff, not the processed high-heat supermarket syrup, but true, local honey, you're giving your body a cocktail of immune support, digestive help, and anti-inflammatory power. Scientists have found that certain types of honey, especially darker varieties like buckwheat or manuka, can reduce oxidative stress in the brain and even help regulate blood sugar better than refined carbohydrates. That's right, honey used wisely can actually support metabolic health. And let's talk about one of the biggest gifts honey offers, its effect on the gut. Your gut is more than digestion. It's the front line of your immune system. It's connected to your mood, your weight, your hormones, and even how well you sleep. Raw honey feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, acting like a prebiotic, and it does so gently. A teaspoon stirred into warm, not hot, water with lemon in the morning can become a ritual. Or try it drizzled on plain Greek yogurt with chia seeds and cinnamon, a combination that keeps blood sugar steady while feeding both you and your microbiome. In traditional medicine, honey was also used topically, for wounds, burns, sore throats. But today, most of us forget its full power. It's not just a sweetener, it's a healer. Of course, moderation matters. Honey is still sugar, and too much of anything can tip the balance. But when used mindfully, honey becomes more than flavor. It becomes nourishment, connection, and tradition in every drop. And now we move from the sweetness of honey to something deep green, slightly bitter, and quietly miraculous. a leaf that whispers strength into every cell. Spinach. There's something poetic about spinach. It doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't explode with sweetness or crunch, but inside its soft green folds is an entire pharmacy nature built by hand. Spinach has been on plates for centuries. From Persian gardens to Mediterranean kitchens, this humble leaf has nourished warriors, monks, explorers, and children. And in every bite, it carries a story about resilience, repair, and renewal. What makes spinach extraordinary isn't just what it contains, it's what it gives to the systems that keep us alive. 1 cup of fresh spinach delivers a powerful mix of iron, magnesium, folate, vitamin K1, and plant-based nitrates. But let's slow down for a moment and talk about one of its secret powers: nitric oxide. When you eat spinach, your body converts those plant nitrates into nitric oxide, a gas that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. The result? Better circulation, lower blood pressure, more oxygen flowing to your muscles and brain. It's like giving your arteries a deep breath. This is especially important as we age. Our blood vessels can stiffen over time, putting pressure on the heart and reducing the delivery of nutrients to vital organs. But spinach works like a natural reset, encouraging flexibility and flow. And that's just the beginning. Folate, abundant in spinach, is essential for DNA repair and new cell growth. Magnesium calms the nervous system and helps regulate muscle contractions, including your heartbeat. Iron keeps your red blood cells working efficiently, while antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin protect the eyes from age-related damage. In fact, eye health is one of spinach's most documented strengths. Those who eat leafy greens regularly are shown to have lower rates of macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss after 60. The best part? Spinach is versatile. You can blend it into a morning smoothie with banana, avocado, and almond milk. You can sauté it with olive oil and garlic as a side dish. You can even add a handful to soups, omelets, or wraps without changing the flavor, just deepening the nutrient profile. And here's a tip. Combine spinach with a source of healthy fat, like olive oil or a few slices of avocado. This helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamin K and carotenoids, much more efficiently. Spinach doesn't just feed your body. It protects it, fortifies it, and gently moves it toward vitality. But what happens when we step away from plants and turn towards something small, yet rich with ancient wisdom? Let's talk about an egg. Not as a breakfast cliché, but as a marvel of bioengineering and the next healing food on our list. Crack an egg, and you break open a universe of potential. It's easy to overlook, maybe because it's so familiar. Scrambled for breakfast, folded into batter, dropped into boiling water. But inside that shell is a perfect nutritional package. One that has fueled generations, from farmhands to astronauts. An egg is more than protein. It's more than yolk and white. It's nature's original multivitamin. Let's start with the basics. 1 egg contains all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks of muscle, enzymes, and even neurotransmitters. That means when you eat an egg, you're not just feeding your body, you're giving it the raw materials it needs to grow, repair, and maintain itself, especially as you age. The yolk, often misunderstood, is where the real magic lives. That rich golden center is full of choline, a nutrient that supports memory, mood, and brain function. In fact, choline is so vital that pregnant women are now encouraged to eat more eggs because of how profoundly it supports fetal brain development. And for those of us past childhood, it still matters. Choline helps prevent cognitive decline, keeps your liver functioning properly, and supports a calm, focused mind. It's also something most people don't get enough of. Just 1 egg can change that. But let's go deeper. Eggs are one of the few natural sources of vitamin D, essential for bone health, immune balance, and hormone regulation. They also contain selenium, B12, riboflavin, and a compound called lutein, which, as you may remember from spinach, protects the eyes. Now let's address the old myth. Aren't eggs bad for your cholesterol? It's a fair question, and one that science has answered with clarity in recent years. While eggs do contain cholesterol, studies show they have very little impact on blood cholesterol levels for most people. In fact, the cholesterol in eggs can raise your HDL, the good cholesterol, while having minimal impact on LDL. More importantly, what affects your heart health more significantly are trans fats, ultra-processed foods, and sugar, not the egg you crack open in your kitchen. When possible, choose pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched eggs. These eggs come from hens that eat a more natural diet, resulting in better fat profiles in the yolk. You'll notice the difference in color, flavor, and benefits. And remember, how you cook your egg matters. Skip the margarine or high-heat frying. Instead, poach, soft boil, or cook gently in a little olive oil or grass-fed butter. Pair with sautéed greens and avocado, or layer on whole grain toast with a sprinkle of herbs. You've just built a breakfast that fuels your brain, protects your eyes, and keeps your muscles strong. From the egg, we move to something softer, cooler, fermented. A food that has lived in the kitchens of nearly every ancient culture and continues to play a quiet but mighty role in modern wellness. It's time we talk about yogurt. There's something deeply human about fermentation. Long before refrigeration or preservatives, people found a way to make food last, not by killing bacteria, but by working with them. And out of this ancient partnership came yogurt. Creamy, tangy, alive with microscopic life, yogurt is more than a comfort food. It's a living system, one that talks directly to the most intelligent part of your immune system, your gut. Let's start with the basics. True yogurt is made by fermenting milk with specific strains of beneficial bacteria like Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. These bacteria digest the natural sugars in milk, turning lactose into lactic acid, which gives yogurt its characteristic tang and makes it easier to digest for people who are lactose sensitive. But the real magic is what those bacteria do inside you. Once yogurt reaches your digestive tract, the probiotics, if they're still active and alive, help maintain a healthy balance in your gut microbiome. That means fewer bad bacteria taking over and more harmony in digestion, mood, and even inflammation levels. Why does this matter so much? Because your gut isn't just a food tube. It's your second brain. It produces over 90% of your serotonin. It communicates constantly with your immune system, and it plays a huge role in how you feel, think, sleep, and heal. A healthy gut microbiome is increasingly linked to reduced risk of depression, obesity, heart disease, and even autoimmune disorders. Yogurt helps feed and restore this inner ecosystem, especially when it's plain, unsweetened, and packed with live, active cultures. What kind of yogurt should you look for? Greek yogurt is a popular choice. It's thicker, higher in protein, and often lower in sugar. Look for versions with live and active cultures clearly listed on the label. Avoid those with added sugars or artificial flavors. You want the pure, probiotic-rich version, the kind that still tastes a little wild. Now, how can you enjoy it in ways that elevate your day? Try mixing plain Greek yogurt with a spoonful of raw honey, a handful of berries, and some crushed walnuts. You've just combined probiotics, antioxidants, healthy fats, and natural sweetness into one bowl. Or use yogurt as a base for salad dressings, marinades, or dips, letting it add creaminess without the burden of heavy cream. And here's a surprising tip. Yogurt pairs beautifully with savory foods. Add a dollop to roasted vegetables, grain bowls, or even soups. It cuts through richness, cools spice, and adds complexity. It's a gentle giant in your diet. It asks for very little, just a spot in your fridge, but gives so much in return. Smoother digestion, a stronger immune system, and a gut that knows how to protect you from the inside out. From something creamy and ancient, we move to something small, crunchy, and easily overlooked. But inside its shell lies a future your heart will thank you for. Let's talk about nuts. There's a certain elegance to nuts. They're compact, quiet, unassuming, but each one is a biological treasure chest, sealed by nature, unlocked by your bite. And inside, healthy fats, plant protein, fiber, antioxidants, minerals, all packaged in perfect ratios by the intelligence of a tree. Nuts have been part of the human diet for tens of thousands of years. Long before the invention of bread or cheese, we were cracking open walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts with stones. Not for snack food, for survival. Because even back then, nuts offered what no other food could in such a small, portable form: dense nutrition, long shelf life, and sustained energy. Let's talk science for a moment. Study after study shows that people who eat a handful of nuts a few times a week have lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and even early death. This isn't a marketing slogan, it's real, peer-reviewed data. The unsaturated fats in nuts, especially monounsaturated and omega-3s, help lower LDL cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and improve blood vessel function. Almonds, for instance, are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects your cells from oxidative stress. Walnuts are high in plant-based omega-3s, essential for brain function and heart health. Pistachios offer potassium and compounds that may support blood sugar regulation. And Brazil nuts? Just one gives you your entire daily need for selenium, a trace mineral that supports thyroid function and protects against oxidative damage. But the real beauty of nuts is how they work when paired with other foods. Sprinkle chopped almonds on oatmeal to slow down carbohydrate absorption and keep energy stable. Add walnuts to your yogurt bowl for brain-boosting synergy. Combine pistachios with dried fruit for a snack that satisfies cravings without spiking your blood sugar. Or simply eat them raw, a small handful, mindfully, as an afternoon ritual. And if you're wondering about the fat content, it's true, nuts are calorie-dense, but they're not empty calories. Quite the opposite. Their fat content makes them satisfying, helping you eat less overall by triggering fullness hormones and stabilizing your appetite. Nuts are also deeply grounding. There's something ancient about holding one in your hand, cracking it open, and tasting its richness. It reminds you that food doesn't have to be complicated to be powerful. So now, let's step back. We've explored honey, liquid gold that heals from the inside out. We've walked through the leafy strength of spinach, the intelligent design of an egg, the living nourishment of yogurt, and the deep protection inside every nut. These are not miracle cures. They are not trendy powders or quick fixes. They are foods, real, natural, time-tested foods that, when eaten with care and consistency, quietly shape the course of your health. They support your muscles, your mood, your memory, your mobility. They are allies, small but mighty, in the lifelong journey of staying strong, clear, and full of life. And the best part? You don't have to change everything. Just start with one habit, one food, one bowl, one breakfast. You don't need a perfect diet, just a few steady choices made with love, over and over again. In the end, longevity isn't about chasing youth. It's about expanding vitality. Waking up each day with more energy, feeling more connected to your body, enjoying food not as fuel, but as joy, aging not as decline, but as unfolding. The future isn't written in your genes, it's written in your plate. And with every real, healing bite, you're choosing a future full of strength, clarity, and light.